I wrote an intro.
Okay.
I don't know if I want to do an intro for this episode. I feel like there's no reason for it.
Yeah.
Should we just go right into it?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the I'm Not Crazy podcast. Today, we're here for a very fun, special Halloween episode. And the reason it's fun is because we have a lot to cover. This episode is going to be really fun and lighthearted. It's very disjointed. It's not really a story. There's zero research has gone into this. It's just a bunch of fun stories that I like that's meant to scare you for Halloween. It's a little Bananza. I wrote that like 4 times, Bananza. So usually we are joined with a guest, right? Usually. But here at the I'm Not Crazy podcast, we like to change things all the time, And hopefully this is the last of those changes.
Inconsistency is the best consistency.
Inconsistency is the consistency. And if you know that voice, you know it well. Introducing as our new co-host, well, I guess my new co-host, we got Christopher Longuera.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome.
Andrew, I really appreciate you having me on and having me on permanently.
Of course. Yeah, this was like a no-brainer because, it just made the most sense. Honestly, the guest thing is really fun, and we're still going to continue to have guests on every once in a while, but we want to be consistent and be able to have like running jokes. A lot of people coming on for the first time, and the people that did come on multiple times, they did great, and I appreciate them. Thank you so much. But Chris is better than every single one of you, and if you want to fucking figure that out, you could come fight him.
Yeah, come on. I actually have boxing gloves in my trunk.
Yeah, because he's ready for the smoke.
Come on.
Anyway.
But yeah, Andrew, I really do appreciate it, though. I'm very excited.
Yeah. I'm so excited. This is going to be great.
Yeah.
And we have a big series in the works.
Yeah.
A big series in the works.
The biggest project I think we've done so far, right?
By far. Yeah, by far. The biggest thing we've done in terms of research, in terms of writing, just the amount of stuff I'm going to write about this person. But we're going to talk about that in a little bit. Let me do a quick little introduction. We're going to cue the Halloween music.
Ooh. There we go.
Exactly.
Come on.
We're back, just in time for Halloween. Are you ready for some bone-chilling, scary stories?
Yes.
Spine-tingling conversations?
Maybe.
And some gut-wrenching explanations of where we've been?
Yes.
I needed a third one. It's not really gut-wrenching. I hope so. Because that's what we're doing this episode.
All right.
That's what I wrote.
That's fantastic. I'm ready to get into it.
This is the 2023 I'm Not Crazy Halloween Bonanza. We got some real fun stuff. I'm really excited because this episode's going to be really spooky. I'm genuinely think I'm going to scare you by the end of this episode.
I'm ready.
Honest with you.
Because honestly, I've been on here a lot and I haven't been fully scared yet. So I think I'm ready.
Man, this episode captures the spirit of what I wanted this show to be when I first started.
Okay.
Where it was like, it's morphed into something where it's much more complex, but in its core, I just wanted something where you listen to it and you're like, ooh, it's spooky.
Right.
Okay. So today's sources, there were none. Because I didn't do any research. Blow me. I'm doing enough.
It's coming from the noggin.
Yeah, it's great. This episode is just a compilation of stories that I found all over the interwebs, and I did zero research for the episode, like I said. This is meant for us to have fun and bring the show back before we do our big series, which might as well just say what it is.
Let's do it.
At this point. We're doing a 3-part Amelia Earhart series. Ooh. And it started as a 1-part episode on her disappearance, and I've become completely fascinated with Amelia Earhart, and I'm like 7 books in now. So it's 6 books. I keep saying 7, but it's 6.
Okay.
It's great, and I'm really excited to bring that to you. And I just figured this would be a good way to, 1, hit Halloween, because how are we going to have this type of show and not do a Halloween episode? And then 2, just to kind of prep us and get us ready for the Amelia Earhart series, to let you know we're still here. There's been a lot going on in my life. The October's been busy. I had a wedding. Congratulations, German and Carla, by the way.
Yeah, German and Carla. This is
beautiful,
exciting.
beautiful couple.
So happy for them.
The 2 of them are gorgeous.
Yep.
Yeah. They're the type of people that you look at them and you say, "I'll never amount to anything because you're so beautiful." and
but yeah, German, we love you, man.
Yeah, honestly, shout out German. Carla's been on the show. She was go watch that. She did like an interview about ghosts and stuff from her culture. She's Mexican. Great person, great stories, really great. Congratulations to them. Love them. But, I'm exhausted. So October's been really busy. So we haven't really got a chance to do anything Halloween, and I just really wanted to hit a Halloween episode and make it spooky and fun and scary. So, and in terms of future content, This episode will contain a couple things that if there's any themes or there's any topic in this episode that you want us to expand on, let us know. Because these all could kind of be something we could flip into an episode, and it'll be fun to get some some interaction on what we could do next.
Yeah.
So you could either you could message me on a messenger. So,
I have something. If you had to choose, what's your favorite Halloween candy?
I'm not a huge candy person. Well, that's a lie, because the candy that I love is the most stereotypical candy it's like gummy sour candy. I like Sour Patch Kids.
Okay, very nice. Yeah. I like Reese's a lot, but I won't bring them around you.
They'll kill me.
I know.
Yeah. They'll kill me dead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
speaking of dead, I feel like I should show you the clip first, and then explain what it is, and then show you the clip a second time.
Okay.
Because it changes its meaning.
Fine.
Okay, so we are going to play it. You ready?
Sure.
Hello, 911. This is Erica. How can I help you? Hello? Hello? Hello?
So now, it's pretty creepy, right?
Yeah.
Pretty indiscernible what's happening there.
That was very unsettling, honestly.
Very unsettling. Okay, so here's the background.
Okay.
That was a call that was received by 911 operators in Pueblo, Colorado. And I actually have family that's there. We don't talk to her because she's a little fucking, but we have family that's there. Shout out, Dad, you know what I'm talking about.
That's such an obscure place.
Pueblo, Colorado, I know. The initial call was just silence, as we heard,
Okay.
and then disconnected after a few seconds. So this is not the initial call. This is the call back, right?
Right.
There is a phenomenon called abandoned calls, where calls will come into 911, and they will be there's no one on the other line, and they treat these serious because usually if someone's in danger and they can't talk or they can't be loud, they'll still call just so that they know where they are and location and all that stuff.
Sure.
They're called abandoned calls. The call was unanswered. I'm sorry. The original call came through, disconnected, so they called back, and the call got answered, and there was no one on the other end, as we heard, except right in the beginning, you could hear a little bit of like a person talking on the phone, like very faintly, right? And again, we're going to listen to it again.
Yeah. Because I didn't hear anything the first time.
Listen for it the second time.
Okay.
There's very faint, unintelligible voices, just like in the background, right?
Okay.
After that call, police were sent to the location, which turned out to be an empty funeral home, where not a single person was found. They searched inside and out. No one was found. And now we're going to listen to it a second time. And it is genuinely so fucking scary. Here we go.
Hello, 911. This is Erica. How can I help you? Hello?
After this. Ready? Here.
Hello?
Hear it?
The fuck?
Hello?
And then after that, you hear someone else talking about a vehicle in the background, but that's someone she works with.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. How creepy is that?
What the fuck?
Yeah, and no one really knows whatever happened with it. But the fact that, like, if the phone dialed out and there was a glitch, whatever, that's one thing. But the fact that it was answered when they called back is that's the weird part.
And it looks undisturbed. Like there's
from-
probably like dust and cobwebs on
See,
it.
like, I don't know how much of the story is like conjecture. But
Right.
There's a lot of there were a lot of little things that I saw here and there that were like, this is just totally We don't know what the fuck it was. And like, I'm very skeptical. I'm a very skeptical person. So I'm just thinking maybe someone was there and they were just fucking with them or whatever.
Right.
But that's like, I don't know. It's a weird. I want to know how fast the police got there. Did it take them 30 seconds or 30 minutes? Did it take them an hour? Because that's a big. Because if it took them an hour to get there, maybe the person got bored and left.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you think? So how in terms of like empty funeral home, how abandoned was this? Like,
Well, it
do
was
they know
like
how,
a working funeral home. It was just closed.
Oh, nobody was there. Oh,
Well, there were, but they were dead.
Right.
Yeah, the people that are there are dead. There were people there though. You know, if we're just talking just pure human bodies, we had a couple.
So someone hopped out of a.
Someone hopped out of the refrigerator and
Right.
had a couple, made a phone call real quick.
Yeah. And then
Domino's was closed, so they called 911. So this is how we figured we started. You know, just to get the spook levels up a little bit.
That was genuinely chilling.
Really
so,
creepy.
Yeah.
And now I have something that's even more creepy in my opinion. This is scarier, right? Because this is much more of like a bigger cosmic horror, even though it's coming from our own planet.
Okay.
Apparently.
Right.
Now we're going to talk about the upsweep. And if you know what I'm talking about, you would probably immediately like, oh, whatever. But the upsweep is I just want to say this. It is one of the only sounds that we truly have no actual explanation for. There have been many other sounds that are considered like mysteries, but they're not actually mysteries. We know what they are.
Right.
You know, like you've heard of the bloop. Have you ever heard of the bloop?
Maybe.
It's
me.
it just sounds like bloop, and like we didn't know what it was, and it's like a really long sound, but sped up. It sounds like a bloop sound, and it turns out it's the moving of like icebergs and they're like rubbing together, and we have other things that sound like that as reference, so we understand that. This one we've been recording it actively since 1991, and we have no idea what is causing it.
And
I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you the sped up version,
Okay.
which in itself is creepy and eerie.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to show you the real time slowed version if you had the frequency in your ears to hear it and how fucking terrifying it is. So, the upsweep is a series of sweeping sounds which have been recorded since 1991 in the Pacific Ocean. The sounds will be louder depending on the season and is loud enough to be heard basically anywhere in the Pacific, which is kind of crazy. When it comes to the season, I think that sounds a lot more crazy than it is. I think it's just because when it gets cold, it probably has something to do with ice moving or something like that.
Right.
Whatever. Though the sound has been pinpointed to a pretty, decent area in South Pacific, researchers can only give like half-hearted guesses of why, like I said. And as I said, this is really one of the few that we have no idea where it's from. And deep sea volcanoes is usually what people say, or giant undiscovered sea creatures, which is stupid. It's problematic. You ready for it?
Yeah.
So now we're going to listen to the sped up version. You hear that? Ooh. And we've been recording this in our oceans for 32 years. And it's presumed that it's been there the whole time and we just discovered it. What do you think?
Like, I can't tell if it's like you said, like something moving, or if it's like an animal.
It sounds weirdly organic, right?
What the fuck was that?
So now this is 1 time speed. That was 16 times speed.
Oh my God.
That's sped up enough to understand the pattern that's going on.
Yeah.
This is unsped up. You ready?
Okay.
This is what a black hole sounds like in my head.
Yeah. Oh my God, this is terrifying.
It's like, imagine, like, the researchers are just sitting there like, yep, giant, scary sound. That goes on for 9 minutes and 36 seconds.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It sounds like what is it like? Like what's that game where like it's like hell and like you're like falling and you're like falling down like a pit, and it's like you're surrounded by like fire and stuff. I don't remember what it
Dante's
is.
Inferno? Is it just
I
called
think
Dante?
Dante's Inferno, I think.
Is that the game? Yeah. Oh, okay.
Isn't there
yeah,
like
yeah.
a clip where like you fall in like a pit and it's like just,
Probably,
like-
yeah.
And I just I never played it, but I distinctly remember just a bunch of like hell creatures just like screaming.
Man, it's so funny that you say that.
Why?
You'll see in a little bit.
Okay.
So yeah, so this
Oh
so
God.
ominous. This sound is really scary and it's really strange. And even if it's discovered, this is my thing, right? The bloop is the same thing. Like we know what causes that sound, but the sound is so massive and it's so scary sounding that even knowing what it is doesn't make it less scary in my head.
Sure.
It makes it more scary in my head.
Yeah.
Because I am afraid of giant things. I have a fear of giant statues since I was a kid. Matthew has made fun of me basically my whole life. I'm afraid of giant statues. I don't know why. There's a word for it, but I kind of think those words are bullshit. I'm
So
just
you
afraid
wouldn't,
of
like-
big
like-
humanoid statues.
You wouldn't be able to go to like the Lincoln Memorial.
That one specifically. That's my Moby Dick.
Holy shit!
Like that.
I
Specific,
have
I have chills. That specific statue scares the fuck out of me.
I have a selfie with the Lincoln Memorial.
Well, you're lucky you didn't fucking get up. That's all I'm saying. You know, the day that guy gets up, everybody's not going to be laughing at Andrew anymore.
Could you imagine him just taking a picture? He just stands up.
Yeah, the problem is I can, which is why I'm so scared of it.
Sorry. Now this is the Halloween Bonanza on you.
When I was a kid, I went to the Museum of Natural History in Manhattan.
Right.
And it was me and a bunch of people from school. And they went into like the Roman statue where they have like the 8-foot statues. And I couldn't go in the room. I was terrified. I was horrified.
Is Night at the Museum a horror film for you?
That's a good question. Sort of. I guess it would be. Yeah. Once the big Moai statue starts saying dum dum, I'm out. Yeah. I'm like, well, I'm done. You're a dum dum, you fucking jerk. Yeah, I don't like big things.
That's fair.
So just
I
the
understand.
thought of these giant plates scraping against each other while little minuscule parts of those plates are breaking off and they're still hundreds of times bigger than I am, I'm out. I'm just fucking done. I can't handle that. That scares me on such a existential level.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, when you put it like that, you're just a little dot compared to something like that.
Yeah, I've done DMT and I'm afraid of this sound. Is that weird?
I mean, I'm sure there's people that also
I've never done
fear things
DMT.
like
I'm
this.
lying. Mom, I've never done DMT, Mom. Never done it.
Never ever.
Never, ever, forever, and ever. I feel like I've told my mom that, actually. The Whistler is the next story. So
Whistler.
now this is going to be more of a traditional I'm not crazy type thing. So close your eyes, take your fucking cock out, and get ready, because we're going to be reading the story.
Okay.
Don't take your cock out. Thank you.
You know, you gotta want
Put it away. Put it away, Walter. I'm not sucking your dick today, Walter.
I'm not having sex.
I was waiting for you.
I'm not having sex with you right now, Walter.
The Whistler. I've been waiting a long time to tell the full story of the Whistler. The story requires many details, but it is unexplainable, creepy, and 100% true. I also have video evidence, which we will be watching.
Okay.
Well, listening to.
Right.
When I was about 8 years old, I was taking my dog for a walk through the neighborhood with my mother. It was maybe 11 p.m. We lived next to a swamp woods area on the edge of our neighborhood in Lansing, Michigan. I remember it being very silent and slightly windy. From down in the swamp, we heard someone whistling at us. It sort of sounded like a bird, but every whistle was different enough where it lacked the consistency which made it sound human. So birds are very, they have perfect pitch.
Right.
The whistle sounded higher then lower. Okay. I can't really describe it. My mom had a concerned, terrified look on her face and grabbed my hand and said, "We have to go inside quickly." The cat just jumped in front of the camera. It's on his cat treat, guys, so it is what it is, I don't understand because I was too young, but seeing my mom freaked out made me freak out. And after a while, though, I kind of forgot about it. 2 years later, I was out walking the dog again late at night. There was a large bush that could easily obscure someone behind it next to the front door. I think about it like, do you ever see Halloween? You know when Michael Myers just goes behind the hedges? That's what I think of.
Yeah.
As I was finishing the walk, the whistling noise started again. Like that. Same pitches, same inconsistent human-like tones. As soon as I heard it, a chill went down my spine. Spine chilling, I told you. As I remembered exactly the feeling of seeing my mom, terrified, looking down into the swamp at something I couldn't see. Maybe she couldn't see it either. Either way, I ran as fast as I possibly can. Years went by and I thought about it less and less. I told only a handful of people and eventually it slipped my mind. Fast forward to summer last year. I'm 24, started dating my girl, Sarah. We moved to the South Dakota. to the South Dakota. We moved to South Dakota for work. For Independence Day, we decided to go to Pierre, South Dakota, and watch fireworks along the bank of the Mississippi River. I don't know what I was going to say there, but it wasn't that. There was a free camping spot behind a hospital where you could pitch your tent, hang out, and see the fireworks up the river. Pitch your tent is, that's like when you wake up in the morning with a hard on. As it was getting dark, the fireworks began. They were pretty far away, so the illumination they brought was very little. Thus, we had to sit right at the edge of the river to be able to see them. A huge thunderstorm was heading in, and a storm was imminent, so the air felt electric, and the wind was picking up. The atmosphere was eerie, to say the least. The police boats herded all the other boats off the river, and had left our area to do something else. Most of the other campers walked up the river to have a better view of the fireworks, but Sarah and I stayed back. We drank PBR Tall Boys and kicked it.
That's cute.
Yeah, hell yeah. PBR stands for beer. Suddenly we heard the sound of a paddle methodically dipping into the water. We saw a figure steering a canoe about 20 meters offshore. That's 60 feet. I know that doesn't work. Sarah decided to go get more beers from the car, leaving me alone to stare at this mystery person. And then, of course, they whistled at me. My entire body was frozen, covered in goosebumps. It was the exact same whistler from my childhood more than a decade earlier. That's actually very scary. I looked up at the figure, but it was too much dark to discern who it could be. They were wearing a hat. When they were perpendicular to the shore for me, they stopped paddling, turned the canoe to face directly me, and started whistling right at me. That's all I think of.
God,
that's not what it was, but that's the image in my head.
That's fucking terrifying.
I was so frightened, I stood up and shouted at them, "Who are you?" That's so stupid. They didn't say anything, just whistled a couple more times.
I knew they were just gonna fucking whistle.
Who are you?
Pointing and whistling.
They turned the 180 degrees and it paddled out of sight. I'm a videographer, so I already had my camera by my side and was taking video of the fireworks. As the canoe was almost out of sight, I grabbed my camera to get a shot of them whistling as they went away. When Sarah came back from getting the beers, she was very confused as to why I was freaking out. When I explained, she was freaking out a bit too. I was convinced we were both murdered that night. How did this whistling person follow me after 14 years all the way to South Dakota? Was it a coincidence? Yes. Why was it the same whistling noise? I don't know. Who is that person and where did they go? I don't know. So many questions left unanswered. To this day, I'm afraid to being walked outside. What? To this day, I'm afraid of being outside in the dark, where I might hear the whistling again. I'm open to any explanations you guys might think. And here it is. You ready?
Yeah, I need to know.
So now, the video is taken from the shoreline, just like he said. I'll show you the scope, the scene. Okay. Just go. So it's storm, fireworks going off over here, and you can hear the whistling. Isn't that scary? And you hear how it's inconsistent, so that's why people are like, that's not a bird, because if it's a bird, they're very specific.
No,
Like,
that sounds like it's
keys
coming
mean
from
things. Like notes mean things, you know?
It's coming from a human's mouth.
Stop it.
Yeah, it is. Sorry. My bad. That was perfect timing. Sorry. And again, that goes on for another full minute.
I don't know what I would immediately run. I would not sit there.
I
There's
think
no
that
way.
I would. I think I am a little You know this.
All right.
I'm a little psychotic. I think
might go
I would
swim.
I think I'd swim to him.
You
Yeah,
might
that's
go
exactly. I think I'd be like, I gotta find out who this is. You know, I'd be fucking paddling myself at that. You'd be like, you know,
Is
trying
it
to get away
just
from me.
in the canoe? It's just one person, or
It sounds like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was wearing a hat. There's just a single sentence in there. He's just he was wearing a hat. It's just in there. But yeah, no, this is like a classic Reddit story, and this video, it's been around. This story's been around for years.
yeah.
And other people have claimed that they've also come in contact with the Whistler, though I don't trust them. Because if they came in contact with the Whistler, then why aren't they whistling more? Get out of here. You know?
That was,
That's what I say.
so literally a decade later.
A decade later, he came back and started whistling at him. You know? I had a couple other stories on
I
here.
hope that never happens to me. In my
I kind of
life.
hope it does happen to me. I kind of want the excitement. Bring it in. Bring it to my life. This is the excitement I want. You know, I don't want natural disasters.
I feel like I'm gonna leave your apartment. And I'm just
Yeah.
gonna hear, do it. I can't fucking whistle. You're terrified.
I want it. Bring it.
All right, I'll let
I'm
you know.
outside my apartment and whistle at me, please. So that one's pretty frightening.
Yeah,
And
that one actually gave me goosebumps. That was really scary.
You know what else is frightening? Do you know? I bet you don't.
There's a lot of
Take
things.
a guess. One frightening thing.
Ghosts.
Spies.
All right.
You know?
Yeah.
When I think horror, you know what movie comes to mind?
Yeah.
James Bond.
Okay. We're really diversifying.
You have no idea.
Neither the museum.
You
and
have no
James
idea.
Bond.
I was gonna put a Benadryl fucking overdose on here.
Hey, I mean,
Guy
I've
tripped
heard,
on Benadryl.
I was actually talking about that last week with somebody.
Yeah,
Benadryl
honestly,
overdose.
I'll tell you that story.
And like
real
you
quick,
see,
abridged.
what is it that you see?
The Hat Man?
The Hat Man.
That's
Yes.
kind of bullshit. But,
No, I know,
yeah.
but
But it's
like,
still scary as fuck.
yeah.
But there's
Have you ever done it?
No.
Yeah, I've never.
I'm not that type of guy.
No,
You know.
that's
You know, I've never even done DMT. You know?
yeah, no, you're 8 hours.
Yeah, I've never done DMT. Never tripped on shrooms.
No.
I don't even know what that is.
No,
What's
no.
a mushroom?
The hell is that?
Portobello. More like Porta say no. Get out of here. So we're gonna get into fucking some number station. Do you know what a number station is?
No.
Number stations are a thing that I've been obsessed with since college.
Okay.
And they are these radio broadcasts that went out on different, very specific frequency bands. They were used by government forces. This has never been confirmed by any government, world government on Earth ever has confirmed the use of number stations. But this is the only thing that we could figure out that they could be used for. What it is usually some type of repeating sound or noise or static or something. Sometimes silence. Sometimes regularly, sometimes infrequently, there'll be numbers being said, all different languages depending on where it's coming from, and this is one of them. And it is genuinely one of the most eerie. Like one of the comments on the video is like, this would do really well in like a London fallout. So this is the Lincolnshire Poacher number station. The Lincolnshire Poacher was a mysterious number station heard out of England starting sometime in the mid-70s. These broadcasts are widely believed to contain encrypted messages, like I said, for spies and the like. No world government has ever admitted to it. And the sources of this specific one have been found to be coming out of a Royal Air Force base in Cyprus, Greece. So it's safe to say that they're using this for some type of espionage because it's not coming directly out of the country, which would make sense. Though that's where the understanding of these stations basically ends. Everything is speculation from that point on. Ready? Mm-hmm. So this just plays indefinitely, and this went on from like the mid 70s until like 2006. And it just plays, and then it goes to
3 9 7 1 5. 3 9 7 1 5.
and it'll do this for a little bit, and then it goes back to the music, and then that's it. And we genuinely have no idea what the messages are, how they're encoded, what they're even encoding, what type of information. We have no idea of fucking anything. This is the most like top secret spy networking ever, and and it has been used since World War I, and we have no idea what any of these have been ever said or used for specifically ever. And now, what's even more interesting is that if you want to hear more of them, you can, because there's a thing called the Conant Project, founded by Akin Fernandez, who has recorded stations by himself for years and compiled them and released a 5-disc set of just number stations. And you could buy it. It's like $2 to buy the whole thing. Or you could find it for free on archive.org if you wanted to see that, more of that. There's a lot of really good ones.
Right. Why was it decommissioned, the station? Like in 2006? It just ended?
It was. I don't think that it ended totally.
Okay.
I think that maybe it changed frequency band. And then also, I think that it was pretty regular. Like the schedule had become pretty regular over the years. And then that just abruptly changed. And it was just now, it's total mystery again.
Sure.
And there's like genuinely no reason for these to exist other than espionage and all that type of stuff. But that we have Soviet ones, we have ones from the Royal Air Force Royal Air Force. We have ones from the U.S. We have Swedish ones, and we've never any idea what they're used for. But they're just so creepy.
Yeah. The first tone, you said what? London Fallout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It gives me like a vibe, like if there was like a Call of Duty Zombies map with
exactly.
an ice cream truck.
Yeah,
like it would be like a haunted ice cream truck. Like it would sound like that.
Why they don't put number stations in the Fallout games?
Yeah, that's
so
kind of shocking.
creepy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Imagine you walk into a building and there's just one of those playing. So creepy.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd go in the building.
It's not for me, dog.
And you just hear random numbers being said.
Yeah, like 2, 8, 5. You're like, what the fuck is happening? And then all of a sudden, just a giant fucking radiated scorpion. It's a great game. Love that game. We got one more.
Okay.
We're almost done already.
Okay.
This is crazy.
Yeah, this has been...
Are you spooked?
Yeah. I gotta check my pants. Terrified.
I knew you get spooked easy.
Well, it's the sounds. It's
don't
more,
get spooked easy.
Yeah, like I can deal with like car stuff, but like when there's like creepy sounds, that shit's it just.
So the next one, kind of again, it's so funny how things work in the simulation we live in that called the universe, right? What did you say before?
What's that? The hell creatures.
Hell sounds, right?
Yeah.
So weird, right?
Right.
So now we're gonna get into the next segment, our final segment for the night, Sounds of Hell.
I mean, I was expecting it. I really was. So,
in 1998, the patron saint of this show, one of the patrons that we have, John Keel, who is our pope. We have Art Bell, who's one of our patron saints. Because Art Bell, I love John Keel, right? John Keel is an amazing guy, and he did so much for the field of ufology, right? But without Art Bell, I would argue that it's possible that this podcast wouldn't exist. And I mean that genuinely because I wasn't a big Coast to Coast fan until I got older. But it's like nothing that I listen to would have inspiration from anything if Coast to Coast didn't exist. Art Bell, may he rest in peace. Okay. Him and George Norrie, who's still around. Does shows on Wednesdays and Fridays now, I believe. He's not really around as much.
What did they work on? I'm sorry.
Art Bell had Coast to Coast, and then he had a forum site back in the day in the early internet called Post to Post, which is fucking fantastic.
Yeah, that's genius.
And they would talk about just general macabre, creepy stuff, mysteries. And this was in the 90s when like the internet was fresh, so there was a lot of weird hoaxes that kind of got by and were really believable.
Right.
Like, you remember John Teeter, the time traveler?
Yes.
He was on Coast to Coast. That's where he started, or one of the first places that he got noticed.
Right.
Have you ever heard of Mel's Hole? So like a mysterious hole that was found, like a concrete hole. That was on his show.
Okay.
A lot of holes.
Yeah.
A lot of holes.
How long was the show going for?
It started
How long
in
ago?
the 80s, I want to say, or maybe the early 90s, and is still on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's touted as the most popular, most listened to radio show, overnight radio show of all time. That's their whole thing.
Wow.
They've been in the same time slot. They have like 2 a.m. to like 6 a.m.
Holy shit.
And they dominated it forever.
Yeah.
It's pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like a cool show. You call in.
Right.
People just talk shit on the radio, and they'll just be like, yeah, when I was a kid, I got fucking, I had sex with my neighbor's ghost. And then it's like, all right, cool. And then they'll talk about it. And then one guy will call in every once in a while, be like, they're following me. I got to get this out quick. And you're like, that's a little scary, you know? Anyway, we'll get into that one day.
Okay.
Sounds of Hell. In 1998, Art Bell would claim to receive an email from a fan. The story goes that a 9-mile hole had been drilled for an unknown reason in Siberia by the Soviet Union, only being stopped when a microphone was lowered down to record sounds for scientific purposes, when it all took a turn for the worst. And with that, I'll let the legend explain the rest himself.
Oh my god.
May he rest in peace. You ready?
Yeah, this is gonna be.
Now, I've got a clean copy of it now, and I warn you, this could scare you. Here's the email. Dear Art Bell, I just recently began listening to your radio show and could not believe it when you talked about the sounds from hell tonight. My uncle had told me this story a couple of years ago, and I didn't believe him. Like one of your listeners who discounted the story as nothing more than just a religious newspaper fabricated account. The story about the digging of the hole and the hearing of the sounds from hell is very real. It did occur in Siberia. My uncle collected videos and audio tapes and so forth on the paranormal, supernatural. He passed away fairly recently, but he would have loved your show. He let me listen to one of the audio tapes that he had on the sounds from hell in Siberia, and I copied it. You received his copy from a friend who worked at the BBC.
Big black cock.
It took me a while to find it tonight, but attached is that sound from my uncle's tapes. It's not the greatest quality, but the sounds are there. I was very hesitant to send you this, as the sound bothers me to listen to. I'd suggest that if you do play it on the program, warn listeners in advance so they may have the option of turning the radio off for 30 seconds while it plays.
Hey, everybody.
It has always
sorry.
haunted me.
Something's
To
coming up.
those who discounted the Siberia sounds from Hell's story, it is true, and I, for one, wish it wasn't. Rick,
So there's your final
listening
warning.
from
If you're
Chicago.
sensitive to hell,
And so I submit now the
No
cleaned,
more. Shut it
better
off.
copy to you, and I warn you, what you're about to hear is very disturbing indeed.
hey, pass the block back, all right? Woo! Sounds like a party down there.
It literally, yeah, you're right. It sounded like a party, but like there's like a domestic violence case outside.
Yeah.
Holy shit! It literally, yeah, that sounds like hell.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Turns out that according to what we know of, the deepest hole ever drilled is like 7.5 miles deep. And we stopped because it turns out it's a little hotter than we thought it would be at that point. We don't have tools that could get past it. But maybe it's because it's hell. You also can't fall into that hole because it is 9 inches in diameter. Found that out also.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a long drop. So that's the sound of hell. I hope you liked it.
Yeah. No, that was easily the most chilling one.
That's why I left that for the last. I put the two scariest ones front and last.
Yeah.
I was gonna do this kid that took too much Benadryl, right? And he did it while he was with his friend, and him and his friend were in his house, and he started tripping out, and he said that he like kind of like lost where his friend was in the house, and like him and his friend were in the living room, I think, and then his friend got lost and he didn't know where he went. So he just started like tripping out and he starts seeing all these different things, whatever, and he starts freaking out. So he sees that the front door was open. So he goes outside and it's snowing, and he said he sees his friend facing away from him, like looking out, and it looks like he's smoking a cigarette. And he was like, "Hey man, like it's cold, come inside." And he said like the friend didn't turn around to him, and he just kept saying out loud, "It is cold, it's chilling. It is cold, it's chilling. It is cold, it's chilling," and just kept doing that over and over. And then he turned around because something behind him made a noise, turned back, and his friend wasn't there anymore. So he went inside, and it turns out his friend was hiding in his closet upstairs the whole time, and he was totally hallucinating him.
Oh my god.
Yeah. They both got their stomach bumped.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do that.
Oh my fucking god.
Don't do that, you know? Don't do that. Don't do Datura. If you know it's Angel's Trumpets, don't do that. It's fucking bad for you. Don't do it, you know? Smoke marijuana, maybe, you know? Some people can, some people can't. I can, Chris can't.
Yeah.
It just is what it is.
Unfortunately.
You know?
This was nice. I am scared.
This was
shitless.
nice, man.
I'm definitely scared shitless.
Are you actually?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel it's like the night that you watched The Exorcist here, then you went home and your mom scared the fuck out of you in your house.
Whoa, oh my god. Literally.
I think you told that story already.
I think I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
But-
so funny.
oh yeah, because we did the episode.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's the Halloween episode, the Bonanza. I hope that you had a good time. I hope you're spooked out. I hope you're creeped. I know it's probably a little bit of a shorter episode, but you know, it is what it is. I just wanted to put something out, make sure that everybody knew we were still here and we're not going anywhere. Keep an eye out. Amelia Earhart. I want to say first episode should drop in the next couple weeks. I'm really hoping. I'm still writing, and I don't know if I'm even going to be done writing by the time first episode drops. So just keep an eye out for it. And if you don't have any interest in Amelia Earhart, I promise you, just keep an eye out. Listen to it. I swear, I didn't either. I didn't think I would care. Her life is so incredibly interesting and complex and just really great that it's just is worth the listen.
The reason I brought it up to you to like work on it and like do it as an episode, just because I've heard so many like little things in school.
I totally forgot that you're the one that suggested. Yeah, you're right. You're the one that suggested it to me. Yes.
Yeah, and I've heard so many like little things about Amelia Earhart in history,
Yeah.
but like in school, like it just never went further than she was missing.
Yeah.
So I thought it was just perfect.
And that's the big unfortunate part of Amelia Earhart is that all we know is that she's fucking. The only thing we know about her is nothing.
Right.
That's the thing that she's famous for is like conceptually nothing.
Yeah.
We know nothing. Her life is so great.
Yeah, I can't wait.
You know,
I'm so excited.
she flew a single engine plane basically her entire career. You know how impressive that is. You know what happens in a single engine plane if the engine fails? You die.
Right.
And you know how many times that happened to her? Multiple. And you know what she did? She manually restarted it in the air.
This is gonna be a good one.
I'm gonna be yelling a lot.
Okay.
There's gonna be a lot of yelling.
No,
The first
I know.
episode,
I can tell you're passionate about it.
I've been fucking this. This has been the most interesting thing I think I've ever read about. The first episode, it's like I want to say the first like 3 pages. Don't mention Amelia Earhart. It's like 3 pages about her family. Yeah, it's. I'm telling you, it's worth watching and waiting for. Please. Wait for that. Watch it when it comes out. Listen to it, and let your friends know. And if anybody has a History Channel Connect, let them know. I think that they need something that isn't alien related.
Most definitely.
It's they're running out of source material, which is kind of hilarious.
It would be a nice refresher.
The History Channel, they can't figure out what to cover. So it's just like let's run Bigfoot fucking hunter videos again. That's it.
That was excellent, man.
You want to give the outro a shot? Put you on the spot.
Yeah, let's do it. Thank you everybody so much for watching. Me and Andrew Andrew and I very much appreciate it.
I like the grammar.
Remember to like, rate, subscribe on all podcast apps. Hit that thumbs up on the YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube. Mutilate the like button.
Fucking stab its family.
TikTok? Technically?
TikTok.
Yeah. Follow us on TikTok.
I post. I'm very good at posting on TikTok. I'm very good at it. I'm very good at social media. Social media is my strong point.
But
Well, now you're the other half, so fucking get on it with me.
hell yeah.
You're gonna start posting.
I'll be
shit
doing
too.
selfies.
You can
but-
throw your Instagram out there if you want.
At Chris Longuera, Longueira. It'll be down here somewhere.
Yeah, it'll be down here. Gonna put it up there.
But as always, thank you guys so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. This has been
Very excited for this
Super
new
cool.
era of the I'm Not Crazy podcast.
This is, I feel like genuinely, this feels really good, and this is something that I've wanted for a while, if I'm being honest with you, but I just didn't know how to go about it, and it is kind of tough finding someone who is equally as passionate when you're doing something like this at such a small scale. With it's just Nick and Vin that help us. Nick is. God bless this man's soul. He comes here, and every single time we set up for the show, it is a totally different setup that we've never done before. We have managed to combine our equipment in ways that is, I would say at this point, impressive with the amount of combinations we've gotten with all of our equipment. I'm saying all this to tell you that
the four of us put in a lot of beautiful work, man. It's really a wonderful thing.
Yeah. It just feels good. It feels right. And it's hard to find people that are passionate. That's what I was. Oh,
Right.
Jesus Christ! Put this down.
It's okay.
It's hard to find people that are passionate about what you're passionate about and things that you like, especially when it's this. This is not something that people do often. Set up 3 cameras and talk into a microphone.
Sure.
And I found 3 people that are very passionate about what we're doing and that will stand by me for it. And I love all 3. It's genuinely, you and the other 2 that aren't on camera, and I thank both of you very much.
Love you too, man.
Because this has been a great thing. But yeah, please listen, like, rate, subscribe on YouTube, all that stuff, like Chris said. And that is it, you all. I'm from New York. I don't say y'all. You all.
Thank you all.
Bacon, egg, and cheese.
Mozzarella.
Mozzarella. Nino was in a fucking video today on TikTok.
Yeah, I know. He told me about it.
Yeah, with
Mo
little
Mo mozzarella.
Can I be totally honest with you?
Sure.
On my platform here, I fucking can't stand that dude. I think
He's a piece of shit.
Fucking person I can think of. That whole group of them, where
Yeah.
it's like him and then the other guy. It's like
Right. Nobody moves.
Yeah.
Nobody gets hurt.
I'm gonna hit you with the semolina. It's like, fucking shut up. Shut up. There's also this guy now. He goes by I think his name is John Gotti. I'm pretty sure his name is just John Gotti.
Okay.
And there's a video of him, and he's like, they told me to come over to Chicago to try the espresso. Wow, you guys got good espresso. That's the whole fucking video. And it's like, bro, this is really, you think that they just don't know how to make coffee anywhere but New York,
Right.
when the coffee that you're drinking comes from another continent.
They got good espresso.
I can't. And he said espresso, which makes me want to scream.
The kid Cooch, you know him?
Yeah, Kooch has my heart.
He was in a Knicks jersey playing with the Knicks players at the
I love
practice,
that.
and
I love
it was
that.
hysterical.
He did a collaboration with this other female cook on TikTok.
Okay.
I love that woman.
Right. But anyways,
Thank
guys,
you so much.
Thank you so
Genuinely,
much for
thank you so
joining
much.
us. And we will be back with such an exciting project.
I'm so excited for Amelia Earhart. It's going to be great. But thank you. Have a good night. And I hope that your spooky is as spooky as your spooky season is spooky. Stay spooky.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Yeah, happy Halloween.
Good night.
Hellbound. And who cares? I forgot. I put that up there.
Coming soon.
Yeah. maybe,
I'm gonna take care of that.
I was gonna say,
take care of that.
you want to take care of that for me, bud?
I'll take care of it.
Make sure that you don't fall into a pit of hell that's 9 inches in diameter.
Okay.